Hello, good evening to all of you. I am Arvind from Purnia, Bihar. As your examination is approaching, class 12 Cbse, today I will teach you Flamingo's first lesson, the last lesson. The name of the lesson is the last lesson. It is very interesting story, you can say it, and this story is related to Germany and France. Okay, so there are three main characters in this story: M. Havel, the teacher, the narrator, and Hauser, who's a small character. But before teaching you this lesson, I would like to tell you something about Germany and France. You should know that unification of Germany was under the leadership of Bismarck. Bismarck, who was known as who was known as for his policy of blood and iron. Earlier, or before 1871, Germany was divided into several small states, kingdoms, and these small kingdoms, states were ruled over by different countries. For example, I would like to tell you Denmark had occupied Germany's territory. It was Schleswig and Holstein. And for unification of Germany, it was necessary to free from the clutches of Denmark, Alsace and Lawrence. You should know the capital of Denmark is Copenhagen, and Denmark had occupied Schleswig and Holstein from Germany. So, when Bismarck became the Prime Minister of Germany, Bismarck said, not by speeches and resolutions of the majority are the great questions of the day to be decided, but by blood and iron. This is the line of Bismarck. Not by speeches and resolutions of the majority are the great questions of the day to be decided, but by blood and iron. There is no need of delivering a long speech. We should not come to any resolution, but it should be done by blood and iron. We should adopt the policy of blood and iron, and because of his policy, unification of Germany took place. But before this, as I told you, Denmark had occupied Schleswig and Holstein, so it was necessary for Germany, or you can say Prussia, to defeat Denmark, and Prussia defeated Denmark. Why do we call Prussia? There were several small states in Germany. All these were divided. There was no any national unity, and it was governed over by Austria-Roman, you can say. After then, after defeating Denmark, it was necessary to defeat Austria. But Russia can support Austria. So Bismarck adopted the policy to keep Austria alone. No country would help him or would support him in war. And Austria became alone, and Bismarck defeated Austria, and lastly the battle was over by Treaty of Prague. One thing I would like to tell you about Bismarck. Bismarck was known for his foreign policy. Historians call him juggler. What is juggler? In circus, you might have seen a person, he has five balls or five bottles, and three of them are in the air, two in his hand. In the same way, Bismarck adopted the policy to unite Germany, and he was famous for his foreign policy. After then, for Bismarck, now he has defeated Denmark, he defeated Austria. Now this was the time for Bismarck to defeat France. You can say France. So this was the last battle, and you should know Prussia was very powerful in German Federation, and under the leadership of Prussia, or you can say Germany, the war took place, and Bismarck adopted the policy, and France became alone. And this was the last war. Austria was defeated, and the defeat of Austria was taken as a defeat of France. French thought Austria was defeated, and this is the time for her. She may also be defeated by Bismarck. Bismarck had been preparing for war for a long time, and France was not prepared. And last day, there was war between France and Prussia. Prussia and Germany, you don't have any confusion. And in this battle, France was defeated. So there is a historian, world historian, his name is D.M. Kettleby. He says, D.M. Kettleby says, the Franco Prussian war made Germany the mistress of Europe, and Bismarck the master of Germany. Germany took her place among other nations. So that was the last war. The Franco-Prussian War made Germany the mistress of Europe, and Bismarck the master of Germany. Germany took her place among other nations. Okay, and you should know in this story you will get Alsace and Lorraine, but the territory were occupied by Prussia or German. Don't have any confusion. So, as I told you, unification of Germany is because of the policy of Bismarck. Okay, so it is up to here. So I would like to now just I'm going to tell you about this lesson. Okay, so look here. You should know it if you read this lesson. So here I am just going to tell you there are three important character. There are three important character. The narrator, second, M. Hamil, third, Hauser. Okay, he is a retired mayor. M. Howell is a French teacher. French teacher, and the narrator says the story. This story has been written by Alphonse Daudet, and he was a French novelist. Okay, you should know the capital of France is Paris, and the capital of Germany is Berlin, because you will get the name of Berlin. Don't be surprised. Okay, so, lastly, in unification of Germany, Franco-Prussian War took place. In this war, in this battle, Bismarck defeated France, and he became the master of Germany. Bismarck became the master of Germany, and France was defeated, and Germany took her place among other nations. Look here, the narrator says in the beginning of the line, you can say, the narrator says, the word I has been used for the narrator. Started for school very late that morning and was in great dread of scolding, especially because M. Howell had said that he would question us on participle, and I did not know the first word about them. Here you get dread. Dread. The word dread means fear. Another word is here. The narrator was about to go to school, but he was very late in that morning, and he was in fear of scolding. Scold, you know the meaning of a scold, but I'm giving you some more words. Rebuke, chide, okay? And he had fear of scolding by his French teacher M. Howell because he was very late to school. Okay. And second thing, he was also afraid because he did not prepare his homework. He got homework to prepare participle, but he didn't know even P of participle. Okay. However, he started to go to school. For a moment, I thought running away and spending the day out of the doors. For a short period, the narrator thought the boy thought he should not go to school. He should leave the school and spend the whole day anywhere out of home, out of school. It was so warm, so bright, and the day was very clear. It was very bright. The birds were chirping at the age of 10 at the age of oats. Okay, so there were words, they were chirping. Chirping means chirping means twittering, sound of birds, and they were chirping on the edge of oats. Ood and oats. Oats means jungle or forest. Okay. Some words have different meaning after using s. For example, wood, wood, it is wooden bench, okay. But here, woods means jungle. For example, good. For example, good. As you know the meaning of good and goods, you should know. Goods clerk is also in railway department. Goods means luggage, luggage. Okay. Saint, you know the meaning of saint, and saints means desert. Okay. For example, water. Water, you know the meaning of water, and waters means sea or ocean. Okay. So, air, you know the meaning of the word air, but airs means showy nature. Okay. So, in this way, some words have different meaning after using s at the end. Okay, so birds were chirping, birds were twittering at at the edge of woods, at the edge of jungle forest. Okay, and there was an open field on the back of sawmill. Sawmill, you know the meaning of sawmill, mill which is used to cut wood. The sawmill, the Persian soldiers were drilling, and Persian soldiers, Persian soldiers were drilling. They were parading. It was much more tempting than the rule for participle, but I had the strength to resist and hurried off to school. So all these things were tempting. All these things were attracting the narrator, the boy, and it was he thought it is quite useless to go to his school because there M. Havel will ask the question and he does not know. That's why he wanted to go somewhere, anywhere except school. But what to do? He has to resist it. He has to stop it, and he moved towards quickly to school. When I passed the town hall, there was crowd front of the bulletin board. As you know, in the way to school, there was a town hall, okay, and there was a bulletin board there, notice board there, okay, and there was huge crowd in front of that bulletin board, okay. For the last 2 years, all our had bad news had come from there, the last battle, the draft, the orders of the commanding officer, and I thought to myself without stopping. So, you should know, for the war continued, for Franco-Prussian war continued for 2 years, and every day French got bad news on that bulletin board. So that's why he decided to go move further. He did not want to stay there because sometimes on bulletin board there was commanding or commanding order. Okay, so there was France lost the battle. Okay, all these things were given on bulletin box. What can be the matter now? Now he thought, what can be the matter? Okay, so then I was hurried as fast as I could. The black Swan watcher, who was there with his apprentice reading the bulletin called after me. Don't go so fast, Bob. You will get to your school in plenty of time. Now look here. You should black with it is common word. Apprentice. Apprentice means training. Okay. Bob means boy. Okay. So look here. The narrator was very quick to go to school, but in front of bulletin board there was a blacksmith who was with his co-workers, who was with his trainees. Okay, and they were also reading bulletin board. He called the narrator, "Don't go fast, Bob. You will get to your school in plenty of time." It simply here we get irony, you can say irony. In this, there is a contrast between what one says and what one means. Here, narrator is too late to go to school. Narrator is very late to go to school, but the blacksmith says him, "You have enough time to go to school. Don't be hurry." It is called irony, where we get opposite meaning. I thought he was making fun of me and raised M. Howell's little garden out of breath, and the narrator realized that it was a fun. So he quickly moved to school and he reached school, and there was a garden of M. Howell in that place. Okay, up to here. Usually, when school began, there was a great bustle which could be heard out in the street, the opening and closing of lesions repeated in unison. So, generally, he gets this school. Generally, when he reaches the school, there was a great noise, there was great commotion. It was very noisy, and one can easily hear far away from the school. That noise can be heard far from the school. And what were the noise? The opening and closing of desks. Students were sitting, they were opening or closing the set. They read the lesson in chorus, they read the lesson in all together, they read very loudly. Okay, and as a result of it, narrator has to shut his ears to understand everything clearly. After then, generally, he hears the tapping or thumping of ruler, or you can say it is used to beat the student. But now it was all so still, but it was unusual. There was no noise, there was pin drop silence in the school. Okay, I had counted on the commotion to get to my desk without being seen, but of course, that day everything had to be as quiet as Sunday morning. But he thought there will be great noise, but it was not so. So he decided to go to his seat without saying anyone. Okay, and it seems that it was a Sunday morning. Sunday morning means Sunday there is no classes, and there are no classes, and everyone there was quite silent. Okay, so the window I saw my classmates already in their places, and M. Howell walking up and down with his terrible iron ruler under his arm. Okay, but as I told you, as the narrator described, that day was very uncommon, it was unusual. Narrator saw his classmates, all were sitting, okay, and M. Howell with his ruler. If you understand, you can understand as a stick, you can use it. Uh, M. Howell was with his ruler and it was under his arm. The narrator opened the door and he wanted to go to his seat without knowing anyone. You can imagine how blushed and how frightened I was. Okay, so the word blush means to sigh, or embarrassed. Okay, and he was very afraid. Okay, you can't imagine the condition of the narrator. Everyone was silent, and the narrator was only the person who was late. He decided to go to his seat, and he was blessed. He was inside, but nothing happened. But every day, Mr. M. Hamel objected any boy, but today M. Hamel did not restrict, did not stop, did not object. The narrator, okay, and he simply said politely, "Go to your place quickly, little French." He said, "Go to your seat, take your seat, French. We were beginning with you, and we are going to start the lesson without you. You are too late, just go and take your seat." I jumped over the bench and sat down at my desk. Not till then, when I had got a little over my fright, did I see that our teacher had on his beautiful green coat, his frilled. So he reached there quickly. He said, and and uh, and there was no fright in him. Okay. So not today. The narrator was surprised because M. Howell was in beautiful dress, in his beautiful green coat, and he frilled it. Frilled it means frilled it means with frill. Okay, shirt and little black silk cap, all embroidered, that he never wore except on inspection or prize days. Okay, so uh, the teacher M. Havel was in beautiful dress, and he was there was silk cap on his head and all embroidered. Embroidered means decorated, decorated. Okay, and generally, he never wears such type of dress. He wears such type of dress on inspection day or any function day or prize days. Okay, up to here it is clear to. But look here, besides, there are PSID beside, and the other words also, uh, besides. Look here, I'm telling you. Beside means by the side of. Okay, one meaning, second meaning, near, third meaning, out of. Okay, look here, I'm just going to tell you. See, see, sits beside me. It means he sits by the side of me. Second, this is for one. Second, there is a temple beside my house. Means near, there is a temple near my house. Out of, third one, he talks beside the fact means out of fact. Okay. So beside has three meaning by the side of she sits beside me. She sits beside me. Near there is a temple beside my house. There is a temple near my house. Out of means he talks beside the fact. Okay, up to here. So and besides, sorry. Besides means except. Except I am prepared all subjects besides English. Except English, you have prepared all subject. Okay, except. Okay, S has been used. It has different meaning. S has been used, but here you will not get S. Here you will not get S. Here you will not get S. This is the difference. Okay. So besides, except this, the whole class seemed no strange and so strange and solemn. Okay, and except this, what was unusual? The whole class was in silent mode. But the thing that surprised me most was to see on the back benches that were always empty the village people sitting quietly like ourselves. Old Hauser with his three-cornered head, the former mayor, the former postman, and several others besides. Okay, so look here. I'm just going to give you some words. It will improve your vocabulary and you can use it in your writing section. Okay, it's strange as you know the meaning of strange. Strange means queer. Okay, second thing, surprise. Everybody knows surprise. Astonish, amaze means it is followed by at. Okay, I am surprised at it. Okay, so generally when the narrator enters the class, he gets back benches empty. But on that day, what was there? Village people sitting quietly like ourselves. Like the students, with some villagers, some senior villagers were sitting on the back bench. And who was that? Old Hauser. As I told you, Old Hauser was the retired mayor. He was very old and he was also sitting with other senior villagers, Old Hauser, and he has three-cornered head. This is called three-cornered head. It is of different kind. Okay, and the former mayor, he was the former mayor. Okay, after then the retired postmaster and many others. Okay, so it is all about the backbenchers, backseaters. Okay, so every day everybody looked sad, and Hauser had brought an old primer, thumbed at the edges and held it open on his knees with his great spectacles lying across the pages. Look at, and Hauser was Hauser brought an old primer. Primer means primary book, thumbed at the edges means torn, torn, torn at edges by the side of the book. It was not new book, it was torn book. Okay, and he kept that book on his knees. Okay, after then he kept his specs on the pages. Okay, this was The gesture, this was the condition of old Hauser, okay, who was on the back bench. While I was wondering about it all, M. Howell mounted his chair and in the same grave and gentle tone which he had used to me, said, "My children, this is the last lesson I shall give you." Okay, now listen to me. There are some words. It is wonder, wonder. Okay, WAND, wonder. Okay, wonder means to room, to move, aimlessly, to sorry, sorry, you do it wrong. WANDER. Okay, to move aimlessly, to move without any direction. Okay, I think you have no problem. WANDER means to roam about, to move aimlessly, to move without any direction. And wonder means to surprise, to astonish, to image. Okay, so look here. While I was wondering about all it, M. Howell mounted his chair and in the same grave and gentle tone he had used to me. So the narrator was surprised. The narrator was astonished. Why? Because everything was unusual for the narrator. M. Harvell sat on his chair and he was very serious and he was very polite in his language. He told to the narrator, "My children," he told everyone in the class, "My children, this is the last lesson I shall give you. As you know, because of Franco-Prussian War, Prussia, Germany had occupied Alsace and Lorraine, two regions, and now it was Alsace and Lorraine. It was under the clutches of Germany or Prussia. Before this, French people lived there, and they learned French language as their native language. But after defeating France, German language was imposed on that area and they had to they had to quit French language and they had to learn German language. It will be as a language. Okay, so that's why M. Havel said, this is the last day I shall give you. This is my last lesson, and tomorrow we will leave this place." Okay, and he had been working there for more than 40 years as a teacher, M. Havel. Okay, I want to be very attentive. So just listen to me. I'm oh sorry. I'm be attentive, be sincere. Yeah. The order has come from Berlin to teach only German in schools of Alsace and Lorraine, and there was an order from Berlin. As I told you, the capital of Germany was Berlin. Berlin. It is also Berlin. So, and the order has been issued from Berlin that in Alsace and Lorraine school German language will be taught. Okay, now new master comes tomorrow, and M. Havel had to quit that place and new master will start to teach them German language. "This is your last French lesson," and he said, "This is your last French lesson. I want to very attentive, so just listen to me carefully." What a thunderclap these words were to me. And the narrator says it was just like a thundering sound for me. Thundering, it was just like thundering. Okay. Oh, the races, that was what they had to put up at the town hall. Okay. Now he or narrator realizes that was the news on bulletin board. Okay, now he that was the news. Racist means poor. Racist means poor. Okay, my last French lesson. Why I hardly knew how to write. I should never learn anymore. No, no. This is the thought of the narrator, the boy. He's, he said, he says he does not know he does not know how to write French. Okay, because he never learned French. Okay, and then what did he do? I must stop there. Then I Oh, how sorry I was for not learning my lesson, for seeking bird's egg and going sliding on the shore. Okay, so instead of learning French language, he used to spend time in collecting eggs of bird or hunting eggs of bird and going by the side of the river Sar. The books they had seemed such a nuisance a while ago, so heavy to carry. My grammar and my history of all saints were old friends now that I couldn't give up. Look here. So he says before this all French books were like a burden for the narrator. For example, it was book of grammar, history, and other books. But it is now not so heavy. It is now very light. It is not heavy. So, and M. Havel too idea that he was going away, that I should never see him again, made me forget all about the ruler and how cranky he was. Cranky means crazy, you can say. So, when the narrator realized that this is the last creation of M. Havel, all French books became light for him. Before this, it was a burden for the narrator, as this was the last relation of M. Havel, and as this was the last period. Tomorrow, M. Havel will leave the school. He will quit to his to another place. So he will. That's why it became very light. Poor man, it was in honor of this last lesson that he had put on his fine Sunday clothes, and now I understood. And now the narrator here, that is the reason the teacher M. Havel was in beautiful dress, and that was the last day for him in Alsace and Lorraine. Okay. Why the old men of the village were sitting there in the back of the room. Okay, it was because they were sorry too that they had not gone to school more. It was their way of thanking our master for his 40 years of faithful service and of showing the respect of the country that was theirs no more. And that was the basic region all seniors villagers were sitting on the back bench. Okay, and second thing, uh, they all wanted to say, or you can they all wanted to say goodbye to M. Havel. They were very worried, they were very unhappy. Okay, Second thing, the M. Havel had worked more 40 years in this school, okay, and all senior citizens of villager came there, and they wanted to show their respect for the country. They were, and after they were, and now this was not their own country. It was the it had become the country of Germany or Prussia. While I was thinking all this, I heard my name called. It was my turn to decide. What would I not have given to be able to say that dreadful rule for the participle, although very loud and clear and without one mistake? But I got mixed up on the first words and stood there holding on to my desk and my heart beating and so daring to look up. Okay, so after then, M. Havel called the name of the narrator. Okay, this was the narrator's turn to decide to speak. Okay, he he tried to speak, but he had fear. Okay, he was unable to speak anything clearly and loudly without mistake. Okay, so every word was mixed. Okay, so he was unable to see upwards. He was unable to look up. I heard him Havel say, "I won't scold you, little friends. You must feel bad enough." But I on the other hand, M. Havel says, "Don't. I will not scold you, just little friends. You must feel bad because you should prepare the lesson. See how it is. Every day we have said to ourselves, "Oh, I have plenty of time, I will learn it tomorrow." And Emma well says, this is the problem of maximum students. They think they will do it tomorrow. They will do it the next day when that day will come. That is the same thing M. Havel is saying to the narrator. Okay, I have plenty of time. I will learn it tomorrow. Okay, up to here. And now you see where we have come out. And you should know that where are we? Ah, that is the great trouble my Alsace. She puts up of learning till tomorrow. And this is a problem for the citizen of Alsace. Now those flowers out there will have the right to say you how it is. How is it? You pretend to be Frenchman and yet you can neither speak nor write your own language, but you are not the worst, poor little French. We have a great deal to reproach ourselves. Okay, so he said, so there should be no excuse. You did not know your own native language. This is your fault. Okay, so we should you should know your own language, and I'm not going to scold you. I'm not going to rebuke you. I'm not going to chide you. Your why your parents were not anxious enough to have you learn. They prefer to put you to work on a farm or at the mills so as to have a little more money. What is what were the basic reasons for not learning French language? Because their family is poor. Their parents used to send them to sawmill or anywhere to work in a farm and and uh, and getting or and earning some more money. And I have to blame also. I not often sent you to water my flowers instead of learning your lesson? And when I wanted to go flashing, did I not just give you a holiday? Okay, so first of all, M. Havel makes everything clear to them. It was the last day for his lesson. He said, your parents is responsible and I'm also responsible for this, because I used to tell you to go to water the plants in my garden, and whenever I want to be fresh, I used to give you holiday. So I'm also responsible for this. Then from one thing to another, M. Havel went on to talk of the French language, saying that it was the most beautiful language. And after then, M. Havel started his speech. He said, French language is the best language, the most beautiful language in world. Okay, it is not one of the best language. It is the best language. It is the beautiful language. Okay, so it is the clearest, most logical, and we must guard it among us and never forget it, because when a people are enslaved, as long as they hold fast to their language, it is as if they had the key to their prison. So here, M. Habil says, in the world, if any state country is occupied by victorious country, so there should be one thing that is the key to free from that ruler was their own language. We should not leave, we should not quit our own language. It unites us. It makes unity among the people living in different area. So it is very necessary to know our own language. We should not leave it, we should not ignore it, because this is the key of a prison, of a jail. Okay, I was amazed to see how well I understood it. Okay, so the narrator here, he was very surprised. So he understood everything. He said seemed so easy. I think to that I had never listened so carefully, and that he had never explained everything with so much patience. Okay, so he realized today, the narrator realized that I heard everything very carefully. One thing, and and he understood everything because M. Howell explained everything very clearly. It seemed almost as if the poor man wanted to give us all he knew before going away, and to put it all into our heads at one stroke. Okay, with one effort, M. Howell wanted to keep everything in his student, in the classroom, and he taught them very well. Okay, so listen to me. Tomorrow I will continue this lesson. Up to here, I would like to leave you. Thank you very much.